Next to France, facing, well, a crucial time, a crucial test later, Prime Minister Francois Bayrou gambles his government on a confidence vote over his controversial austerity plan. With opposition parties united against him, the French Parliament, which has been in deadlock for a year now, looks set to throw out yet another Prime Minister. Speak to our correspondent Mark Lowen, who's in Paris for us. Mark.
Lewis, thanks very much indeed. Yeah, barring a last-minute surprise, it looks like France will be plunged back into political paralysis later on today, when Francois Bayrou, the Prime Minister, is set to be brought down in a no-confidence vote. The sixth Prime Minister who will be lost to President Macron in all likelihood. It is all over his attempt to shave 44 billion euros off France's ballooning budget and to try to bring this country's debts down to a more sustainable level. He says France's future is at stake. His opponents and the opponents of President Macron say it is all down to the president calling those unnecessary snap elections more than a year ago, which plunged this country into intense polarization and complete paralysis. Let's bring in Agnes Poirier, a seasoned political commentator who has seen many of these political machinations over the years. Agnes, compared to what you've seen, how serious is this crisis for France?
Well, it's quite serious in the sense that the Fifth Republic, founded in 1958, aimed to resolve the instability of the Fourth Republic. And so it had worked very well until then, until the snap election of last year, to provide majority government to whoever was presiding. But we have known instability that we're not used to, certainly much before I was born. So it's something that we have difficulty dealing with. The institutions are not made for that instability. And also, on top of that, we are experiencing a very divided society, and also in Parliament. I mean, scenes in Parliament in the last 14 months since that snap election of June 2024 show that there's no harmony, and there's certainly no consensus and no desire even to work together.
Agnes, what is it about France that it makes it almost seem ungovernable at the moment? I mean, you can see this incredible city behind me. You've been writing about how in the space of about 7 weeks over spring, there are 5 bank holidays. The Prime Minister is planning on cutting 2 of them to try to save the budget. I'm reminded of the words of a famous French writer that France is a paradise inhabited by people who think it's hell. What is it about France that is not working?
Well, actually, when you look at the plan of Francois Bayrou, the French Prime Minister, which he announced just the day after Bastille Day on the 15th of July, all the economists say, well, it's a very modest plan for trying to tackle the deficit, not even the root causes of the public deficit, but only to try and mitigate and trying to make it more sustainable, as you said. And that included, for instance, scrapping 2 bank holidays out of 11 in total. But the French are up in arms against it. 84% of the French people are against it. You know, the Rassemblement National of Marine Le Pen said it was an attack on France, I quote. And the far left of Jean-Luc Mélenchon said it was a social war. So this is what you have. You have in Parliament 2 blocks, far right, far left, that are really making work together quite impossible. And neither of them have a majority, but they certainly have the power to block things. And actually, we haven't talked about this yet, Mark, but on the 10th of September, on Wednesday, there's this strange and quite worrying call to block it all, to block everything. Bloco 2 has been prepared by far right, far left groups in France, throughout France. It really reminds us of a sort of yellow vest movement. And there are worries that it might be pretty damaging.
Yeah. Agnes Poirier, a seasoned political commentator and journalist, thanks very much indeed. And of course, the real worry at the moment, Lewis, is that just as the Ukraine war continues to surge, as does, of course, the war in Gaza, and with Donald Trump in the White House, there is a need for French leadership in Europe. But all of this is weakening President Macron on the international stage immensely. France seems rudderless at the wrong moment, and that is why all eyes really are on the paralysis unfolding here in France. We'll continue to watch it all through the day, but for now, Lewis, back to you.
Mark, thank you very much for that.